Hi, Peter.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you? I'm fine, thanks. I'm calling from a small town next to Vienna, Austria, Baden. It's 20 kilometers outside into the south of Vienna. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you're our first macro photographer on, so I'm excited to talk with you about that. We do this series to give people ideas and tips and inspiration.
Yeah.
And this is a great place for people to start. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about you, like
Okay.
where you grew up and when you started photography and what you're passionate about.
Okay. So I grew up in this area around Vienna my whole life. I was born in Graz, just 200 kilometers to the south. And I always was passionate about visuals, not photography in particular, but visuals in general. So I always love to take small photos and videos and something like that and work with them, edit with them. I never pursued it consistently. I had many things to do, work and so on, studies and so on.
What do you do for your work? What profession are you in?
I am an engineer. I am a specialist in quantum mechanics.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a lot of work, unfortunately, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, at a certain point, I wanted to create some sort of record, legacy from my life on this earth. And I started watching YouTube videos and noticed all these photography channels. And okay, I started with a sailing channel, but that led to the next thing because I always wanted to know how they got the images and the videos and so on. So I was pretty lazy, I'd say, until let's say 2017, around that time. And I watched, as I mentioned, I think in the short comment, Peter McKinnon and all these guys. And I wanted to record videos and put them on YouTube and so on. And I knew that I had to learn color grading, color correction, and so on. So after watching all those videos for 1 year or so, wow. I said, it's time. And
1 year. You were looking at them before you started?
Yeah, always looking the technical aspects. I'm an engineer, so these are very interesting to me. And then something Peter McKinnon said in reference to somebody else. He said, if you want to take photos, don't wait for the perfect location. Just grab your camera, go outside of your house and shoot everything. Start shooting everything. There's something interesting to see everywhere. So I did that. I had an old camera, which I still use, Sony Alpha 350 from 2008. And I went into the park and just started shooting small things because I had a macro lens, and yeah, that's the way to go. And then at a certain point, it took me a certain time to got to know all the colors and how they affect the picture, the light and the shadows and so on. And after a certain point, I learned to love photography, and I started this account, and then a second account. The second account is just for fun, for the big stuff, but this one is consistent. So that's basically the story.
And how does being a quantum
mechanics? Quantum mechanics.
How does that help you?
How does that help me? Maybe not really. Just not really, no. Because you have to be very, very particular and very precise in quantum mechanics, and in photography. Precision is, of course, important, but the small details, the small nuances created by not being that precise.
Mm-hmm.
So no, they don't work together, and that's a good thing.
So it's a good break for you then, mentally.
Yeah, definitely.
So talk to me about, like, a lot of our users they're starting off, they're younger photographers, they're just testing. So let's say, I mean, I'm sure you use a professional camera and you're working with editing tools. If you could just like have your phone with you, what advice would you give people that just have their phone and they see something beautiful?
My advice would be, of course, with the phone you can take perfect pictures nowadays, but my advice would be to try to take pictures of this one object from different positions. The light in the back, the light in the front, then the leading lines from this side, from up top, from down below. The most interesting pictures when you're taking pictures of something small or street photography is when the view is not on your eye level, just below, above, from the side, somewhere you wouldn't normally see the thing. So in order to learn how to get the perfect composition, I would definitely take one subject and try to take pictures from several angles. Yeah, that's the first thing. And then review. And yeah, another YouTuber coined the term, Mattia Boyer said, what is it? Learn, do, repeat. Learn, do, repeat. Learn, review, repeat. Something like that. Just take the pictures, look at them from the different angles. Some angles you wouldn't think of before. Just take them and see what works and what suits you. With the phone especially.
What is like your favorite thing to shoot?
That's something I haven't shot so far, at least not with the camera, underwater. I haven't shot anything there.
Everybody says that. Every time I ask someone, they say underwater. I think they need to have more tutorial videos for underwater because that looks super scary and dangerous and, I don't know, difficult.
Yeah, I've been this summer. I've been to France and with the DJI Osmo Action, I took some videos from underwater, and I loved it. It's really perfect. But yeah,
it's like cold over there.
On the other hand, yeah. But the small things are very interesting because they're very intricate, and it's a perfect way to learn how light works. With macro photography or flowers in particular, it doesn't matter if you do it in the morning, in the evening, or at noon. It doesn't matter because there's always a different light situation that works for you. It's not the same thing with landscape. So this thing is very interesting to me, but I also like to go to hiking and take just one picture in the morning and one picture in the evening. But it's a completely different game. Shooting something small, or let's say go to the zoo or something like that. That's a completely different game. But you have to get used to maybe getting just one picture out of it, of landscape photography. Whereas in the macro photography, you might get 100 to 200 pictures out of it, of one session. Yeah.
Have you learned like what these species are and what the names of the plants are that you're photographing?
Learned. I took pictures of the labels because I'm in Belvedere Botanical Garden. Every flower has a sign with its name besides it. So I've learned, sort of. I know some, but not really.
Yeah.
I'm not really in this area.
Yeah, like I'm seeing this one, the Lucia, slender cottonweed is native to North America, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This one.
Something like that.
It's good when you do this. Like, for example, like National Geographic is one of our customers. And when they're looking, they're always looking for the name of the actual thing that they're looking for. So it's always so hard to find that with macro photography, what actually it is. So if you ever have that information, even on Instagram, put it and you'll get many more opportunities for that art. And then also it's good for education.
Yeah, sure.
So you could even do like a blog page or whatever. You could just say like 100 different types of flowers in Austria or something. And
Yeah.
then you could
No,
create like an ebook or whatever, a video. All those things
yeah.
are really good, especially for like children's education. I don't know if like that's
Okay.
the area that you're interested in, but for children's education, there's like no like approach of new types of content. So they're looking at images from like
Yeah.
from like 50 years ago to like teach them these things. So it's always interesting when you look at something like in nature that you want to like show people, okay, this is what it is. So even if you the animals that like if you know the type of bee or animal that's on that, if you can include
Yeah.
that even on your on your Instagram, but definitely when you're sharing that online in other places, that will get in by Google so people can find it.
Okay, I've never thought about that. Yeah, but maybe I'll do something like that because yeah, I don't have a homepage. Yeah, but at Scopio, at Squarespace or something like that. But Adobe Creative Suite gave me one, of course, but I haven't used it now, so I could do that there.
Yeah. Or yeah, again, or you can do like a slide share, like a presentation. You can create like a presentation for the public, and it can be. There's a lot of times again on is Instagram your main place that you use now?
Yeah, Instagram is the main place.
Yeah, so you could play with moving it to different things like SlideShare or Flickr, and then create smaller collections that are more detailed. And I think it could give you some new opportunities too. Like you could do 100 types of X flower or like.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're international flowers. They're not Austrian flowers.
Yeah, but you could say like 100 types, 100 of the most beautiful purple flowers you've ever seen.
Okay.
Like 100 of them, or like the 20 most unique birds, and you created like a kind of presentation style. Because you have a lot of similar themes, you could put those themes together and do more education around those topics.
The one problem is that I don't stay true to the colors. I change them as I see fit.
I see. Well, you can always disclose that. Yeah, you can always just say that I changed the colors, or you can do before and afters too.
Yeah, I planned that on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that would do well on YouTube. Cool.
But it takes time.
Yeah, everything, of course. I'm sure you have a lot of other things. Those are just fun ideas because you have so much content there that there's a lot you can do with that.
Yeah, I will think about that. I mean, the one thing I definitely plan is on before and after things on YouTube. Of course, explaining the edit and so on forth, but as well giving a little bit of explanation about the flower itself.
Or the location of where you found them or whatever, more of the background. Is there anything that you want to achieve with your photography specifically?
A specific goal? No. Maybe a specific goal, getting better all the time. Learning more, getting better. And that's a constant process. Because my motto is the standard is always the maximum. So I never reach that, but I always try to get there. And that's I love photography, I love filming and editing. So there isn't an end in sight. Maybe I will change it up sometime because taking pictures of flowers all the time might be redundant after some time.
It's whatever
I do have one here.
You and whatever you enjoy.
Sure. but at some point, if you're getting too redundant, it becomes work. It's not fun anymore. Yeah.
That's the problem with Instagram, is that it rewards consistency, but sometimes you want to change who you are or change what you're doing. Yeah. So yeah, you could definitely. I mean, I'd be interested to see how you change color. Like if you had a portrait in the same editing style, it'd be interesting. Like you could get like a much more moodier image of a person.
Of course, yeah. Portrait is something for the other channel. The other channel, I make everything. So on this channel account, it's only the smalls, and the other one is the big. But yeah, there's everything else. Because as you said, consistency is sort of key in Instagram. So if I change too much, then I lose everybody, and that's not really something I want to do.
I also, I don't see any portraits that you have.
On this, no, I never did one. I never did one.
I think it might be
maybe in the stories.
It might be really nice because your editing style is kind of like moody. So if you did do a portrait of somebody, I think it could turn out really cool. Like, should try it.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Yes.
I like the shadows and light are very nice also.
Yeah, there are the limitations in my camera system because it's very old, and 14 megapixels is enough, but it's very old. The dynamic range is very bad, and I can only go up to 400 ISO. So I'm limited, and I know you can make images with any camera, but at a certain point, it would be nice to have more definition in the shadows, more definition in the highlights, so I can work better with them.
Yeah.
So that's the next point, the next goal. Yeah, and because as I've seen, I like shadows. I like this game of light. You can do a lot with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I wish you good luck with your tests and I look forward to watching your progress. Is there anything you would like to talk on?
Well, I say, especially for beginners, the difference between a real camera and computational photography might be interesting, because at first you don't see the difference nowadays with an iPhone Pro Max, that it's really perfect, and some of the portrait is nearly there is nearly no difference. So to see a little bit of pixel peeping and to see the difference between a perfect lens of a real camera and what you can do with a phone, and why a camera is still superior for someone who's taking photography seriously, would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Something like that.
If anyone wants to do that subject, message me that's listening to this, and we'll look into see who some of our artists are that could do that. Have a nice weekend, Peter. I appreciate you coming in on a Friday night.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hope to
Always was a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.